Can you see me now? Everything should be good a go. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can see you and hear you loud and clear. Okay. That's probably because I had it set a preset my show, which usually is not a problem. I was kind of surprised. But yeah, these no BS dog proofs are strong and a lot stronger than these Duke dog proofs. A lot stronger than the Duke dog proofs. See, I can grab this Duke and just set it just like that, no problem, easy. But the no BS is strong. Yes, exactly. Technical difficulties, which kind of sucks because I had that scheduled, and so everybody was following that schedule, and I canceled it. So now all those people that follow that won't see this necessarily. But yes. How are you, Corey? Should we call technical difficulties? Yes, sir. That's good. Yeah, got some raccoon boards behind me here. Get this a little bit like that. Ooh. Today I did get my soft plastic egg mold in. Nice. That ought to be fun. That ought to be fun. Ooh, that's powerful. Took the paint right off that. This is a setter form, but apparently I don't need setters. I thought I couldn't set them before, but I figured out that if I go like this and squeeze down, well, put that like that, squeeze down and grab the lever and slide it in, it works. Which I didn't think I could set those. I just figured that out before stream. But the no BS dog proofs I like because they come with earth anchor. See, swivel, the earth anchor, and then but the standard Dukes that are a little more expensive don't. But these are made in Korea. Well, they were. Now they're made in I forget, Thailand, and they come coated too now. But no BS are made in America. Support American business. That's what I plan to do. So. Yes, the soft plastic beads at the store are pretty expensive. They are expensive. There's all different designs of them. There's all different hole sizes, and they're just. I don't think they, work any better than probably your beads will, because in the store, right, you're looking at someone that literally molded them in their shop and sold them to the store, and the store sell them. So, how much different could your beads be? Only thing that would be different is like messing with how soft you want the beads, because you can make them real soft, make them tougher with softener in the plastic. Hello, how are you doing, viewer number 2? I don't know who you are. I can't see you. You haven't said anything. All I see is 2 viewers now. But yeah, we're talking about dog proofs. I got the Iowa Trapper Special here. Or, rat stretchers, put in your conibears. I got my raccoon boards, muskrat boards. Got what I put into the this is what I put into the bellies as my belly board is just a wooden dowel, half-inch wooden dowel. I also have some 3/8-inch wooden dowels, but for the bigger animals, half-inch wooden dowels work. It's from the craft store. It shows nobody's here, but I have a feeling that's not always accurate. I feel like Corey might still be here. Brought my measuring tape too if we want to measure my boards, see what size they are. I messaged Iowa. I thought maybe he would come in here, Iowa Trapper, but I was hoping because I brought some raccoon stuff out to show him. But I don't see him in here, sadly. I was hoping. I sent him a message too. Oh, there you are. Yeah, it's funny, Corey. Usually I have how many viewers is up top, and it usually only it shows 0, but you're here. It is always best to support your USA companies. Absolutely. 100%. And that is exactly why I buy American-made traps if I can, if I can afford them. Well, be honest, there's times I have so much money in my account, and sometimes I'll get it with down $10 into my account because I drain it. But I'd rather support American businesses and then get paid again, stuff like that. Obviously, when I can. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with these Korean-made ones. Well, now in Thailand, these Dukes, but I like the American-made ones. They're a lot stronger. This is something Iowa Trapper came up with. Are these wire raccoon stretchers cut off and then stuck in the conibear about right here and stuck in the ground. And then what you can do is take the brush and take some tall brush and weave it through here and weave the other way, and then makes a tunnel, and this will support the tall grass. So when they go through, and they'll go through here and get caught. Brought that out especially for Iowa Trapper. Good. Yeah, I don't understand the whole numbers thing up on my screen. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Yeah, I brought some stuff out to look at and play with on camera. I still like these no BS because the dog proofs are made in America, and they come with pretty much earth anchor you drive into the ground, and they come with 2 swivels, right? So that's what I like about them. I mean, swivels are for the comfort of the animal. That makes sense. So when they're caught, they don't sit there and twist up, and try to twist their leg off or bite their leg off. And with these, they reach in here this far, right? Reach in, the paws down here, and they can't necessarily bite their arm off or hand off because they're up past the joints, so they're not going to bite their hand off. So this protects them from chewing themselves out of traps. Where like a lot of footholds will chew the foot off if they're in there too long. Now it's not something they normally do just when you catch them and then you check them in 24 hours, 48 hours. They don't do that. That's something when they're in there for a long time and you're getting neglectful trappers that don't do their job and they'll chew the foot off. Now other times with beaver, they'll get caught in a toe and pull the toe off, but that's a little more understandable. That happens. It's what you call camouflage in the trap. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. My goal this year is to catch a couple of raccoons. But if I don't catch raccoons, my bigger board here, right here, was my smaller raccoon board. A bigger board fits the Nutria really well. In fact, these are the cleaner of the boards. There's one out there that's almost black, the wood, from getting used so much. And I just brought the clean ones in because I'm bringing them in the house, But yeah, these are pretty clean. The other one's almost black from being used so much. The boards back here. They can tell this one was tacked up. I can't see if you see that there's a bunch of tack marks there. This one was used. There's a nail hole in the top. A raccoon my muskrat stretchers. There's a couple muskrat stretches out there that are black. These are still fairly new, but and unused. Yeah, I just use like these wooden dowels from the craft store. This is a 1/2 inch for the raccoon, and then I use 3/8 inch for the muskrat. And when I put the muskrat's face on here, there'll be a mouthful. I stick the dowel from the bottom and keep it about this far, about a foot up above the mouth, through the mouthful. So when it does close, I can pull it through and he slides off. If you don't put a dowel in these, they'll be dried to the board and you can't get them off. You got to be careful of that. And boards, animals look a lot neater on boards than they do on wire stretchers. They also look more uniform, and you sometimes get a better price on them doing that on the boards than you will if I were to sell them. You get a better price on the boards. I usually don't sell mine. Not a huge trapper. I'm not doing this like as a business. This is more recreational. But yeah, this is something to do. Used to fish a lot in the winter, but then everybody and there's cousins decide to go down to the river. So then therefore we decided to trap when winter steelhead, fall chinook, we were trapping to get away from the people, because I don't like combat fishing where you're fishing next to 10 people. Have you thought about treating those boards with mineral oil? It's something to think about. I've thought about that. I actually have some mineral spirits with what's it called? Pine tar in it. So it has a nice woodsy smell. But I figured if I put enough animals on there, the fat of the animal will just cure it itself. Thought about doing it with mineral spirits, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, let me go grab the one outside. I'll show you how dirty it is. I'll be right back. Give me a second. I'm back. Give me a second here. Let me get in here. And this one is, I'll see if I can show it. It's greasy, it's slimy, there's some fat on it. This back up. This one's black almost from all the stuff being on it. Whereas the clean ones are real tan. This is just one season, but I thought about treating them I thought about just getting a bunch of fat and rubbing the fat on there, let the fat soak in and taking the fat off. So you just kind of cure it with the fat. I can tell there's a lot of grease and gunk on here. Something was used a lot last year. My nutrias went down to halfway down the board and somewhere 3/4 way down the board. This board, the bigger board, is total I think 50 something. Let me see how tall this is. It's 54 inches tall. So most of the nutria went. Let's see. Let me flip it over real quick. Most of the nutria and some raccoon were. Let's see how tall they got from the top. They were at least staked 28 inches. Then the raccoon was staked 35, I think. But yeah. So it really depends. It really depends on what I do. And I have 6 smaller boards and 6 larger boards. Or 3 larger boards, 3 smaller boards. Those smaller boards, not sure if like smaller nutria fit on there, but they didn't. So I ended up getting the larger boards. And when I get new boards, I'm gonna get 7 3/4, I think it is. The boards. I think that's what the dogs are going crazy in here. Give me a second. Gonna measure the width of the board. The width of the boards are 8 1/4. Let's see. 8 1/2. These boards are 8 1/2. the base, and then the smaller boards are seven and a half, roughly 7 3/4. This is what Iowa Chop uses. I got some bigger ones, and this one is. Let's see how tall this one is. This one is 48 tall. The shorter board. Yeah, some of them, like I said, get heavy use, and we just get one here, one there, so we never have to take off the one board. But on occasion, it changes. A lot of the older choppers used to put bear grease on the board structures for the pelt. Grease on the structure for the pelt. Yeah. So now you brought up a good question that's going to have me ask some of the old timers in one of the Facebook groups. How would you cure your boards? Would you cure them with the pelts, or would you actually put mineral spirits or some kind of cure on them? You know, like that's the next question I would probably ask them. I think these boards are sanded pretty smooth. These dogs are crazy. I think it would be fine the way it is, but I don't know. I'm curious because these boards, we got otter boards in there, we got weasel boards in there, we got a couple other boards. So yeah, so and my dowels, my half-inch dowels are 48. My half-inch dowels. Yeah, I think they're half-inch. Well, technically, this is actually, I take that back. Not half-inch dowels, are 5/8 inch dowels. Then I have some 3/8 inch dowels. The 5/8 these ones. So a little bit bigger gap in there for air to get up in there. And then when it pulled off, they just come off easier. This one's 5/8. Because I'm pretty sure that's all they had, besides the smaller ones. And there's some real thin ones which didn't allow much air to go in there. See? Yeah, 5/8, 48 inch round dowel. A wood grain, that's the company. So here's your California warning. Cancel warning. Proposition 65 warning California.government. That's literally on everything. Made in the USA, the dowels. So this is from the craft store. What is this? I'm surprised we don't have more people in here. I mean, I scheduled it out like 6 hours. I used to have like 20 people in here. Now I have nobody. Well, one, but like nobody compared to what I used to have, you know? I don't know what to do. I invited one of my trapping buddies to come in, but he didn't come in, and I think the other guy's still live. It's like setting up a live feed is like trying to pin a needle. This find a needle in a haystack, right? You can't possibly get between other people. You're always going to go over other people. It used to be where we'd all kind of schedule our lives around each other, but now I schedule my live way early, right? Earlier today, and the other guy's like, I'm just going to go live, and he has a huge following, and therefore half your viewers just go over there, and it's like I don't even know what to do anymore because I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm a little guy. I'm not, I don't know. I don't make a lot of money. Unemployed right now. Have no income, so I don't know. I not big enough to make money yet. Trying to get there so I can at least have a little bit of spending money in my pocket, pennies at least. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Just I don't know. I started this again because I needed people to know that we're talking trapping again, getting there. But is what it is. Kind of bored with just doing these because at the end of the day, I get 6 views on them, right? And I'm like, that doesn't help my algorithm. I need 50, I think, 1,000 viewing hours to be able to make money, and I don't even have nearly that. And I have some channel, some videos that I shared that have 50,000 views, 58,000 views to be exact, and they minute view doesn't do much. It's like 25,000 something hours. It doesn't do a lot. It doesn't help. I'll say this: there's no stupid questions. That it's actually true. Yeah. It's just frustrating sometimes. Because if I do schedule it a week out and I miss it, then I feel bad, right? But so I've scheduled a couple of days or early in the day out. It's frustrating sometimes. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm just gonna get some leather or wood stain and put them on these or what. Maybe a waxy substance. I don't know. I haven't had the problems yet. Now, my theory is with the grease and the fat and all that stuff, when the pelt sheds, it'll probably cure these, but it's gonna be a while. That was my theory, but the dog's not back there licking the fat, so she don't want her to get sick. Another person just uploaded. Like I said, there's no more. I feel like there's no more courtesy between live feeds anymore. It's get your butt in the door and do it before somebody else. Like I used to be with 5 or 6 guys. We would work around each other, and then I stopped doing live feeds for a while. And now they just don't even work with me, and I feel like if I don't do my live feeds, I'll get thrown to the side. So yeah. And I have on my Facebook, I have 30,000 followers. At least I sit there and read the comments. A lot of people are just like, whatever. Just grow the group and don't care, And at least I read the comments. At least I, interact with people a little bit, best I can, if it warrants it, But a lot of these other people on YouTube just don't care about the audience. They just, I want your follow, and they don't care. But it is what it is. I try to be as fair as possible, though. I'm all about helping everybody. Got me in trouble a little bit, helping people when they didn't want help. They didn't specifically say, "Oh, I don't need the help." They just start attacking you, and it's like, what do you do about that, right? Here, let me help you. I want to help you catch more fish. I want to encourage you. What are you doing? I don't need the help. They start flipping out, and I'm like, sorry. And that doesn't mean you don't know anything if I'm trying to help you. It just means maybe I'll help you with something you may have not known, or it will improve the way you think about stuff. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know. Brought all this shit in here, pardon the French. I thought there were going to be a lot of more people in here. And it kind of just disappeared. But invited one of my friends, another one of my friends, snapped us, hey, come on in here. We got some on invite you, but I don't think you ever got the message. So I'll go live again tomorrow if I can fit it in between the other 3 guys going live. It's funny, all right? You go from 5 o'clock, a guy goes live for an hour, 6 o'clock, a guy goes live for an hour, 7 o'clock, guy goes live for an hour. I try to fit in there. 8 o'clock, guy goes live for an hour till like 9 o'clock. Then by the time it's 10 o'clock, you're missing the East Coast guys and the West Coast guys. It's like you're pointless. So, and if you go too early, they're at work. So therefore, you're already fighting for views when they're at work, so they can't just view you. So you got to be around 5 o'clock, to get the views. Well, they're off work on the East Coast and at home on the West Coast awake. Or West Coast, they're awake off working at the East Coast. They, they're not asleep. So then when you try to hit both, it's hard. Like right now, I have some friends in New York that would be going to bed right now. So like I've been live for 25 minutes. I would love to have been live for an hour by now and just would be getting off. But because I got bumped back because some other people were live, and I tried to schedule my live between people that I knew were going live, and then someone that I didn't know was going live. So then it squishes everything together. It's kind of chaotic. It's hard. This idea keep on putting. This is I just keep on putting out videos. There's much as you can. Yeah, that's where like a lot of my like trail camera footage. I'll throw it up there. Here's this. Here's that. If I go fishing, I'll try to throw up a short of me releasing a fish or something. Something just to keep the views going and something out there. But here's the hard part about that, right? If you stop posting trapping stuff, the trap people kind of float off. You start posting fishing stuff, the fishing people will come in, but then trap season comes around, and you start posting trap stuff, the fishing people lose interest. It's like you're constantly battling who has more interest and who has more views. And it's half the audience disappears different times a year. And it's like, then when it comes back around to that time of year, they don't always come back. So it's like, it's an uphill battle, but you're really fighting a lot of resistance. It's hard to keep track of everything. With my Facebook, Anthony Rubio Outdoors, I post fishing memes. I post fish, 50, 60, 70, 80 likes. One trap, and when I go from trapping stuff, it gets down to 0 likes. We're the low hanging fruit on the totem pole for people to attack. And then when I post fish stuff again, it's up 30, 40 likes, but it's not as high as it was. Then you post some more trap stuff, no likes, 1 or 2 likes, maybe. They start to flow in. And then fishing people, you post fishing meme, you get 10 likes, and that crowd starts to disappear. Like and the fishing crowd doesn't always want to see the trapping stuff. So it's very hard to keep everybody happy without stepping on toes. It is what it is. It's a balancing act, to say the least. It really is. And I can barely manage my life as is, but half kidding, but to manage social media, not easy. You have any questions for me, Corey? Or anything interesting you want to talk about? Because I guess it's a me and you one-on-one right now, so. I'm just surprised that I figured out how to set these. So I used to set them like this, and I couldn't figure out how to set them, right? Too strong to set it this way. But if I go like this with my palm, and then, let's see, go like this and then grab this. Let's see, how was I doing it? Then grab this. Well, move, dog. Slide this down like that. And slide it in. I can set it, right? But I just got to squeeze like this, squeeze in, and then throw the lever over and use the leverage of the lever to set it. Since I figured this out, I'm kind of excited. I figured this out 5 minutes before I started my live, and I was like, holy crud, I thought I couldn't set them. I thought I was too weak. Thought my hands were too small to set them, but apparently not. Well, I'm quite excited about that. That's quite exciting for me. So I just slide these in, grab this with my hand, and use the leverage of this to pull it down and lock it. So it really helps. To me, it doesn't matter if you're talking about fishing or trapping. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, some of them don't care, but it's nice when like people are more understanding. Because then you get the people that, when you post a picture of an otter or something, right? They're like, why'd you kill an otter? They aren't harming anything. But then when you post a picture of otter and talk about how you have 8 dinner-sized plates of scales on the side of the bank where they weren't there the day before after catching the otter, you catch the otter. So you catch the otter, and you talk about the story the day before where there's 8 dinner-sized plates of scales, right? Before that, those dinner plates, there were no scales. They're like, oh, great job. Thanks for killing the otter. They killed more fish than I thought. And I guess it's about education, And if they saw all the fishermen saw what the trappers see, and with like otters and water animals that eat fish, or other predators that eat fish, and the results of it on the bank, they wouldn't be so, what are you doing? So aggressive about why, I look at otters, they aren't as bad as sea lions, but I think I'd put an otter head to head with a sea lion on how many fish they both eat in 24 hours. Because the otter eat a lot. The sea lions will grab them and rip them apart. They won't necessarily eat them, but the otters will eat them, and the otters will eat a lot of them. Like they'll eat a lot of them. They'll clean a pond out in 24 hours of fish. Whereas, put a sea lion in there, they'll probably do the same thing. But so I'd put sea lion and otter head to head. But I don't want people getting in there and talking about how we're going to kill all otters, because I like the otter pelts. You get the WDFW in there or the ODF and W, they're just going to kill them and get rid of them. They're not going to value the parts of the animal, the pelts, all that stuff. They don't care. They're just exterminate them. Therefore, our numbers go down. And therefore, that's hard, because technically in Oregon, you're allowed 10 otter per year, per season. Not even per year, per season. And that's a lot of otter. A lot of people get 2 in other states. We get 10, which is a lot. Sometimes those raccoon traps can be hard to set at times. Once you figure it out, it's easy. Exactly. So I never really played with them a lot. Like I started trapping in 2014. For years, I was getting mentored, right? Didn't play with them a lot. We were beaver trapping mainly. A couple of years ago, I started messing with it a little bit, trying to figure it out. And finally, just now, I played with it. I would pick it up, squeeze it, put it down. I wouldn't actually play with it. Now that I actually got them in here and just tried to, reverse my grip, it's actually quite easy to set. And because I use my palms here, instead of my palms here. And what I utilize the lever. I'm like, there you go. It's simple, as easy as that. Yeah. Quite interesting. But you learn something new every day, right? Even experienced people that have 10 years experience, maybe a little less, 9 years experience, still learn stuff. So you'll be the most experienced person in the world. And you will still learn stuff. That's why when people are like, oh, I know everything, you get these young kids that are very cocky. Like, come out here, try to catch one of these fish. Like, I was there at one point. I was very cocky. I thought I knew everything. Then I got older. I'm like, as much as I know, there's always something out there that I don't know. Because the second you stop learning and adapting is the second you are left behind in the dust while everybody else catches those fish. Because the world is constantly adapting. When you don't adapt to, you lose. And that's basically what I said. If you don't adapt, you lose. So, and when they're young teenagers and they're very cocky, think they know everything, they end up knowing nothing at the end of the day. Because what the new stuff that's out there, they don't care about. They don't need to learn it. They know they catch fish. So, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be cocky. You got to be kind of humble about it. And I went through my very, very cocky phase where, like, dude, I catch fish. I'll put me up against anybody. I'll go to any lake, any body of water, I'll fish. I was one of those cocky kids. But as I get older, I know that, yes, I can go to any body of water, but give me 6 months and I'll catch them. Because it's repetitiveness of going where you figure stuff out. It's not you just go and catch them. Where when I was younger, I thought, I'll just show up and catch them. No, it's repetitiveness. You'll eventually come across one. And that's what, when you get older, you start realizing that that's where you become a little more humble. Like, I could catch them, but give me a little bit of time. Not just, I don't care, I'll catch them, And it took me a while to learn that be a little more humble about it and a little more like, just give me some time, new water, let me figure it out. Give me a couple months, let me fish it daily for a month and I'll figure it out or figure something out. May not catch a big one, but give me enough time, I will catch a big one out of there. So I'm dealing with a kid right now that was very much like me, very cocky, said, come up to Battleground Lake. I dare you to catch a 4-pound bass. I'm like, I told him, repetition, you go there enough, you're going to catch them. It's like guides. The guys catch 20-pound steelhead because they're there every day, 8 hours a day. They're going to figure it out. Have you thought of wearing gloves when you're setting the traps to keep the humustin off? See, I've thought about the water trapping, but my problem is I have small hands and I wear a size small gloves, some extra small. And I'm worried with the conibears if I went to squeeze them, if I slip and get caught, I can't get my finger out of it, the trap flies off or sets off and snaps from my hand from getting caught, which pulls my hand into the trap. I'm worried that I won't have like as good a grip, something will happen, there'll be an accident. But I have trapped with gloves, water gloves, and I do like them. I would love to trap with them if I could get gloves that are actually fit tight on my hand and aren't like a little long and then where they end up getting caught and stuff and getting in the way of grabbing and stuff like that. But yes, preferably I would water trap with gloves. Preferably I'd bank land trap with the gloves. That's like ideal. And if I had to like with like these, we don't really set these much. The property we trap at that's 5 minutes from the house. There's a whole ordeal where a guy, the gun club down the street, claimed a guy from the property shot at the gun club and hit the roof. There's a slight problem with that. Where the guy shoots and has his friends shoot, there's a huge hill. Like there's part of it, he's down in the gulch where they're shooting. So he would have to shoot through the hill to hit the tin house. And you'd actually have to walk up on top of the hill, which is across his property and on another property. And it's across a waterway, which didn't happen. But they settled because it's a gun club and, they're just going to start pulling out stops. And now he doesn't let anybody shoot guns on his property besides bow and arrow. So I can't dispatch animals if I get them in a live trap. Now, of course, there's other ways of doing it. We don't talk about them, but like anything, you can take out just about anything if you hit them hard enough. Makes sense. So that's my option. But I'm a little worried that like we're there to catch beaver and otter and stuff like that. I'm tempted to ask him this year. He's one of my brother's friends, my dad's friends. It'd be like, hey, I want to get some. Do you care if I get some raccoons off your blueberry patch, and toss them off your blueberry farm so they don't eat your blueberries? I'm guaranteed to say that's fine, But kind of doing this under the radar with my brother and dad's permission. So since it's their friend's property and that we trap on, and they drive, so I'm not going to complain too much. But I am going to ask him because I'm curious if he'll let me do that. Because just this year he had a raccoon on the property. He shot the raccoon because it was eating his blueberries. That was one of the target animals that I had in mind to catch. But I don't know how many more are there, so kind of sad. And I know usually this time of year they don't let up their babies until July, yeah, actually they did give up their babies right now. The babies are on their own, but usually in July they give up their babies to go on their own. So I was worried that this was happened before July. So I was worried that he killed the mother off, the babies died, then I'll have to wait a couple years before another one just happens to wander on the property, have babies, and build a population there. Because it is a swamp. There's not a lot of raccoon activity. We walk that property every day, look for tracks, and there's coyote tracks, and there's nothing up around the fields. It's always the one possum that I did catch, or the two possum I caught, were in the swamp. Only reason I knew they're there is because it snowed, and I saw the tracks. I put a camera up, and it's like, bingo, and caught the two of them. So, and one of them did have kits. We got rid of the kits, but so it is kind of one of those things where I'm kind of tied down with I have to use conibears, instant kills. I can't have live animals there. And problem with conibears, we run another problem. The neighbor didn't know about us trapping down there. We told him, and so he used to run his dog down there. So now he doesn't run his dog down there anymore. So we, putting the conibears on land, we wouldn't put it on land for a while. So it turned into this whole, I'd rather use this than a conibear. So if I catch the landowner's cat and kill it with a conibear, we're in deep shit. I catch it with this and if he does have to get caught in this and I let him go, I'm not going to be in trouble. But with this, I can't dispatch the animals without like a shovel or something. So what do? You kind of got to make do with what you have, and that's conibears. And you just got to be smart with the way you set them. So it's very technical property. And then like we got the golf course where my dad works, then we block the creek off. Nothing comes in, nothing comes out. Protect the fish from the first day of the season and the end of the season. And we do that. Try to catch the bobcat out there. We try to catch other things. But yeah, I've been trying for 4 years to catch a raccoon at this property. This specific blueberry patch. He just killed one out there, so I'm like, great. There goes my opportunity, but I'm hoping to get one. We went to another property in Helvetia, Oregon. The Little People Big World show. Their properties, their little the roll-off farm is right nearby there. We ended up putting a conibear in there to catch a beaver. A raccoon walked up the creek and got caught. So I got my raccoon last year that way. But I'm still hoping to get a raccoon out of here. Because I'm really after raccoon and otter. Because we don't we catch those the least, and the least being raccoon. So it's kind of my goal. But it's all a goal while targeting beaver. So we go where the beaver are. If the raccoon are there, we happen to catch them. If they're not there, we don't catch them. So it's not a mission for raccoon, it's a mission for beaver with the side subject or objective of catching the raccoon, which is a bit more, it's one of those things where it's if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But like I said, they drive, I don't. They take me there every time. So you got to kind of go with what they want. So otherwise, I would be going to catch the raccoon because I think they're cool. Yeah, we both have different agendas, but have to kind of fit to their agenda, and it's a little more frustrating. I was hoping Iowa Trapper would pop in here. I want to talk to him. I want to show him some of the raccoon stuff, but sent him a text and he didn't reply, so I'm assuming the other guy's still alive. But I said I was going live like 5 times in the other chat. Oh yeah, I'm going live. A friend of mine, they never acknowledged it. They only acknowledged the other guy. The other guy's 90,000 followers. Why does he need to? Why does he need views? But nothing wrong with going to him. Just saying, like, I could use them too. I'm a little guy trying to get to 1,000 so I can make a little bit of money, have some spending money for something. But right now my bank account is literally negative $2, and I don't have an income. So yeah, trying to make a little money here and there from doing lives and stuff, but I can't make money till I get to 1,000 viewers. So I make do with what I have for now. So yeah, it's kind of a pain, but that's why I feel like I need it, but I can't get mad when people don't understand it, like that. So it is what it is. Oh, it's hot in here. Also, of course, got my Fur Brigade shirt on from my friends Dunlop Lures and She Traps. Where is that? Oh, it's over here. Reversed. So, Death Dealer Fur Brigade. It's 43 minutes. We're getting close to an hour. I think we have to go for an hour, and then, of course, I say that every time. I say, oh, we'll go for an hour, and then I quit. Because I don't want to overstep on other people. Of course, I feel like I'm the only person thinking that way now, though. I don't know. I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be right back. One moment. Oh yes, I got Gatorade. So Gatorade, right? But some reason I'm doing these lives right now too is because half my family's gone, right? Half of them's in well, my mom and her best friend are in Hawaii right now. And so I got a lot of time just to fool around when my other parent goes to bed. So I got time and I live with them. So, without interruptions. Hey, Ventura James, how are you? Finally, another person's in here. So exciting. I appreciate you, man, for showing up. If the raccoon is big enough, it'll set off a beaver trap. That's true. Yeah. He walked through a big 330 in a creek. Yeah. How are you, James? Hey, Buck Killer. What's up? Looks like you're a new viewer. I don't think I've seen you on the channel before. Appreciate you being here. Maybe I will go live a little longer. This is kind of exciting. Last couple live feeds I've done, I've had one viewer, and eternally grateful for that one viewer, because that's one more view than I would have got. But it's always nice when more people show up. And I was talking about earlier how I just figured out how to set these. I was trying to set the dog proofs like this, and I was like doing it all wrong. So I just happened to fool around, go like this, grab the lever, and fool around with it. And I was like, set it, and I was like, I was an idiot. I thought I could have set them by hand, and now I just set them by hand. And I'm like so excited. And then this is good. Travel Jason ended his live. I figured out stuff. Man, I appreciate you so much. I had a feeling that's what was going on. I was like, all my people aren't here. Appreciate being here. Yeah, I'm new. Buck Killer, have you subscribed? Just curious. Yeah. Appreciate being here. Yeah, so this is a Duke dog proof that was never set. Well, it was never set and was about 10 years old. It was made in Korea. They're made in Thailand now. Pretty strong, but this no BS is insane. It's really strong. There's no BS dog proofs are oh yeah. Appreciate you, man. I really appreciate it. Or lady, I really appreciate it. Yeah, these no BS. Made in America. There's Iowa. Read my message. Made in America. 2 swivels and an earth anchor and super strong. I'm all for it. Maybe that's Iowa that popped in. Is that Iowa? That'll be the first time you would pop in here. It'd be quite exciting. I got my where are they? Let me move this over. I got my raccoon boards behind me. Gonna measure some stuff up. And the old famous here I wanted Iowa in here because I brought out the old raccoon stretcher from Funky's. And this is what Iowa does. He puts Conibear in and then puts it in there like this, right? And then we'll put grass through here and there and then set it in the trail. I just thought it was kind of funny. I want to talk more raccoon stuff with them. But, oops. That's a little more springy than I thought. Yeah, these no BS are strong. I use the DP setters. See, you and me think alike. I bought one because I figured I couldn't set these. And then I just played with them some more and I'm like, I can set them. What's up, Buck? Corey says hi. What's up, Corey? Buck says. Hey, Iowa. How are you? Look what I brought out just for you. Some Funky's rat stretchers. This is the first time you've actually been in my live ever. I'm quite excited right now. I'm like a little girl in a candy store. It's all excited. But yeah, here's the things. Oh, what are they? Rat stretchers. Really good idea. I know we're talking about these dog proofs, but these dog proofs, these Dukes are pretty strong, but these no BS are hard to set. But yeah, got those. Come on, good. And then I was going to talk about the board. My boards are 8.5. I think my big one, and then my small one 7.5. Friggin' brand. I tend to put my Nutria on the 8.5 by 50 something, 58, I think. Yeah, Iowa, you're at the same stream. I'm at all night. Hey, Iowa, you're at the same stream. I'm all at night. Yeah. Probably, Buck. I'll be doing one later today. Yes, that is why I try to get on early, specifically so I can get off when you want to do one, because I do not want to overstep on other people's lives. It's very hard to fit them in. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. Make sure you like and subscribe and share with your friends and family. Yes, absolutely. Right now, you want to know a dirty little secret? My bank account's negative and I have no income. But I have a plan for that. So I'm trying to get my account up to get a little bit of money coming in. Yeah, there's since I have like a high functioning brain disability, I get some money from the state, and that's all out of whack right now. So I'm trying to figure that all out so I can get some money to do some things. Yeah. So that's a whole nother spiel that we'll go down another day. YouTube turned off your ringing bell. So I was just subbed and not ringing the bell sub. Ah, I see. Interesting. Maybe YouTube doesn't like me because I'm a trapper. Oh yeah. They've got some stuff in here. Yeah. Oh, my rat stretchers. So Corey brought up a good point. Do you treat your stretchers? Do you treat it like a mineral oil, maybe like a mineral oil and pine tar, something like to treat it to make it last longer? Just bringing that up, and I was like, it's a possibility. Personally, I was just going to let the fattened animals cure them with use over time, and the fat get soaking into the board. But that was what I was going to do. Of course, my really dirty ones behind me that used most of the season last year. Let's see. I better set this one off so dog doesn't happen to get her nose pinched. Yeah, and then I use 5/8 inch dowels from the what's it called? Craft store. The 5/8 inch dowels. They're 48 inches long, and I use them on the raccoons because they're wider, so the air gets all the way up in there. And then sometimes I'll put 2 of these in the raccoon, and I'll use a smaller 3/8 on the rats and smaller animals. But yeah, just the craft store. 48 inch round, 5/8 inch dowel. So that's it. Slide that up in there. As you can tell, it's been used quite a bit. We also use this one on the otter. Let's see. Oh, I better plug my phone in. That's a warning you don't want to see. 15%. Charge your phone. How are you, Iowa? I'm going to get you your money for those pellets. I'll promise you that. I'm working on that right now, getting that money. I want a 5X coon. Your coon, my raccoon, the 3X are the size of our otter. I can't imagine a 5X. It's got to be freaking huge. It's got to be huge. You let me know, Iowa Trapper, when you want to go live, and I'll get off. I just want to make sure I'm not overstepping on you, because I figured you didn't go live last night, so you're going to go live today. I just don't want to overstep on you. Whatever works for you and whatever time. I know you're probably in the shed doing stuff or making dinner and stuff, so I just want to make sure I'm not overstepping. Yeah, I brought some of the raccoon stuff out because I was like, maybe we'll get Iowa in here, like a fanboy moment, you know. I'm getting by, got a lot going on, no rush at all, buddy. No overstepping at all. You do your thing. Okay. I was only going to go for an hour, but I mean, if I go an hour and a half, that there's more people in here, but I'm kind of running out of things to talk about. Believe it or not, I usually don't have that much to talk about. There's not a lot of, I'm usually doing all the talking. There's not a lot of questions usually, but hey, girl, dog, just coming. You see? No, you can't have any of this. Man, that is refreshing. Whew. Oh, that's cold. Let's talk about goals for this year. Goals for this year. Let's talk about goals for this year. For me, catch another raccoon. We've caught 3 in the last 4 years. We target the beaver, then my side mission is the raccoon, right? So if they're there, they're there. If they're not there, we don't go chase them, right? So hopefully get a raccoon off the property. Oops. Facebook's going crazy. Get a raccoon off the property. Catch 5 or 6 otter this year. We're allowed 10 in Oregon. 1 or 2 bobcat. We know where one was. We caught a bobcat last year at the very end of the season, and then 2 days after the season ended, another one came by. Obviously, raccoon. Catch a couple possums, get them off the property over there. beaver, and then obviously beaver. Well, I always write down 5 or 6 things to talk about before every live if it gets stuff. Yeah, I would do that, but I have very bad handwriting. I can write it down. That's I was usually put in notes in my phone. And if I were to go into my notes in my phone, I would lose the speed. So yeah, that's a good idea though. What's your goal this year, Buck? All right, Buck replied. 1 coyote, 2 beaver, 10 coon, 1 fox, and no barn cats. I want to be mad about a few possum. Yeah. I gotta say I wouldn't be mad about catching no barn cats. I was gonna say, yeah, that's no fun. That's no fun to catch barn cats. You see, my goal this year also is to whatever higher power is out there, God, whatever you personally believe in, I like to believe in God and stuff, that God will not lead any dang ducks, any birds, anything into my conifers this year. It was bad last year. When we blocked the creeks, the creek gets low, they just swim right through and go, boom, done. Ducks and the birds need to stay away from my traps. That would be nice of them if they did that. I don't usually talk about that, but I mean, I'm going to probably get 6 views on this feed, so I'm not going to really get into anybody's hands that shouldn't. 1 coyote. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see. I already read that. Did I say 1 fox? Yeah, I did. All right. A fox would be cool. See, this part of Oregon doesn't have foxes, but every time I see Iowa catch a fox in a conifer, I'm like, or fox in a dog proof or bobcat in a conifer, I'm like, that is the ultimate goal is to catch a bobcat in a trail in a conifer, but that's a really hard goal for me to beat around here. Really hard. And then I know a lot of people are like, oh, raccoon are easy. They're easy when you catch it. I mean, not that catching 1,000 is easy, but if you have 2 people catch 1,000 that are trapping around each other, and there's that many coming through 6 or 7 a night, 73 a night, there's a lot of raccoon around. Come out here, you're lucky to cross maybe 1 or 2 a day. So I mean, with numbers comes catches, right? So I know a lot of people say it's easy. If you were to come out here and do stuff that, let's say Iowa came out here to do stuff that Iowa does, with no road trapping, there's really no house laws where you can't be too close to the house or anything. So the only thing is no road trapping. It would be a whole different ball game, right? And it's different out here. It's hard. There's not a lot of raccoons, so it's easy to catch raccoons. It's figurative, right? It's easy in some states. Other states, it's hard. You want to go to Antarctica to try to catch a raccoon, like it. It pertains to where you live. What's this say? Catch 1 more fox in Pennsylvania than a coyote. All right. And I set all my coon traps on my creeks because I get almost 2 or 3 a week. Yeah. See, I have a creek that gets low. I thought about putting some pockets in, but I don't even, when it's real low and it's like January, February, and it's real low and the water's about a foot and it's real shallow and it's along the ditch is all mud. You don't see a lot of tracks. I mean, you see a muskrat track here and there, but there's no like tracks running down the creek on the banks of the creek. There's no tracks in the field. Like the blueberries are gone, so they're not here when I'm trapping the animals. So I thought about taking some corn oil, getting a gallon of corn oil, throwing 4 ounces of blueberry flavoring in there, and try to flavor that up, maybe 5 ounces of blueberry flavoring, and try to get a strong blueberry flavor and throw that along, because what they don't have in the winter is blueberries on a blueberry farm. So my theory is if they smell the blueberries, they're inclined to go into there and check it out. And places like where I trap, trailing scents and lures and all that stuff matters. Like, for example, with Iowa, he's got so many going by. He puts the dog proof there with cat food in it. You got to catch them. So, if I was in Iowa with our trapper, I'd probably do the same thing he's doing. I guarantee I would. There's no doubt about it. Because for one, I was proving that it works, right? 1, he's proven it works. 2, There's tons of cornfields. There's corn everywhere. So what do they eat? Corn. What do you see in all the hunt shows? Oh, look, raccoon are in my feed plot. Corn. So put the bait around corn, you're gonna catch raccoons. My mustache is itching my nose. Big difference between from Iowa and the West Coast. Absolutely. And believe it or not, like I was telling you the other day, there's 22 subspecies of raccoon. This area, Pacific Northwest raccoon, are its own thing. Michigan has its own raccoon. Florida has their own raccoon, smaller skulls, smaller bodies, and I looked it up, and each one has a different shape of skull, different type of body. We have ringtail raccoons here, but not this part of Oregon. So we have two different raccoons, regular raccoons, common raccoon, and ringtail raccoon. But we have a Pacific Northwest variant of the raccoon. And when I do a Wikipedia search, Florida has its variant, Midwest has its variant, Michigan has its variant, Mississippi has a variant. So there's all these different variants of raccoons that are throughout the U.S. that have different skull makeups, different body makeups, which is super cool. I was like, oh, they're all raccoons, all the same. They're not. They're really not from place to place. And some get bigger than other ones do. Definitely a big difference between West and East. That's what I've heard. Yes. So glad to see it here, or glad to see it, Corey. We definitely appreciate you being in here and being a loyal fan. I really do appreciate you. Yeah, there's a lot more tricks and strategies to trap in low population versus high population. Absolutely. But I'll tell you what, I'll binge watch 30, maybe 40 videos a day on raccoon trapping, trying to suck up as much knowledge as I can, from details of trap setting to modifications, video after video after video, and studying every little thing. I was playing all day long for 8-9 hours a day, trying to pick up as much information as I can to trap them. And honestly, if I were to go target raccoon, I'd probably get 3 a year. But since I'm not targeting them and I want to instantly, have one come onto that property, I want to have as much of an edge on those animals as I can. So yes, it's a very big difference. Hey, James, Iowa says. Hey, man, James says. Yeah, so, yeah, like the whole interesting thing is, I think there's like 7-something subspecies of raccoon that are in the U.S. And the biggest thing I saw is one state I was reading has a large skull, real skinny body. Because when I was the raccoon around here, I know Pacific Northwest raccoon, Pacific Northwest raccoon, basic raccoon. I went to New Orleans and I was in the swamp on a boat tour, and they had some raccoons. Like, those raccoons look sick, like skinny sick. But it's because they're a different variant. They were super skinny, skin and bones looked to them, and I was like, and these guys in the gator tubes feed them all the time. I'm like, those things look like they're gonna die of malnutrition. But it's because they're different species. And I didn't realize that at the time till just the other day, which is crazy to think about. Which is interesting if we really got deep into it, like just studying, it's quite fascinating. It's really fascinating. And I know, like, I think 33% of their diet is fish, or 40% of the diet is fish, 33% of it's like invertebrates, and like 20% or 10% of it's like plants. Something it said on there. With all the rivers we have here, we have tons of coon, and I get my fair share in my beaver sets. Yes. So that's the difference. Like, if I went to trap the creeks and rivers, I'd catch them. But I'm trapping what would be a creek with farm fields. This is like the farm field drainage. So the farm fields are kind of in a ditch like this. And then in the base of the ditch is a creek that runs all the way down into the big creek or drainage. And in that drainage, down further towards the mouth of the creek, is from about 100 yards up to property. I was seeing the property. There's a big drainage there. And that's what I trap. And there's a bunch of beaver houses in there and stuff like that. So I'm trapping the drainage. I went down across the street and up into the property where I used to leg hole trap on the same creek. I run into a few raccoons. There's quite a few raccoons around there. But it's where I'm trapping, and just being stuck there is what makes it hard to go where the crayfish are, all the fun stuff. That particular creek that it dumps into is full of crayfish. I mean, I'm pulling one pot and I'm having 60, 70 crayfish in a pot on a certain bridge nearby. And yeah, there's a lot of crayfish. So the raccoons got to be there. Heck, I'm 5 minutes from where I trap. There's raccoons in my backyard. They're just not on that property. What's the most raccoons a trap in Oregon has caught that you heard of? Oh, geez, I don't know. I haven't really looked into it much. My outlets for Oregon trapping is the Oregon Trappers Association or Oregon Trappers Facebook page and some other stuff. And I mean, I don't see much raccoon trapping. I see one or two posted a year, but I don't know. I don't know what people have caught around here. I really haven't done any asking around or research. Which that's a good question. I could, further the ask that. Oh, geez, my mom's in Hawaii. She's texting. I could go ask them, like, what's most you've heard somebody catching? Can you get more property? I have more property, but with gas prices as expensive as it is, it's in the middle of forest and it's an hour and a half there and an hour and a half back. And when you have people, when you work after work, getting off at 5, there's no time to do that. And we have caught a raccoon up there, and that's a big river. That is a really big river. That's one of the longest coastal rivers in Oregon. And it goes all the way to the valley, all the way to the coast into a huge bay. But yes, I do have more property. I know most of the properties around here, but with it being 5 minutes away, and it's one of those things where I'm kind of stuck doing what my family wants to do because they're the ones driving, stuff like that. So now when I get my car and I get my license, you bet your butt I'm going to other properties and I'm going to go target the raccoon because that's what I want to do. And I will catch more. So yes. With that being said, most of the properties around here, since my brother hunts most of them, we have access to. Now, the problem is some will let you hunt, some will not let you trap those properties. So it's one of those games where you got to be careful. This year, we actually have property where Bobcat's on. The guy going to let us trap up there. But as far as I know, we're only allowed to Bobcat trap up there. And that's what I'm being told. I don't know what the guy said. So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to try to attempt to catch a raccoon up there or not. I don't know where the property is. Yeah. I would go about it like that, the way my brother does with hunting. I'd be like, since I have onX Maps, right? You can get owner's information and I can send a letter. And usually when I get properties, right, I will drop off a case of beer or wine. I'll be like, where do you like to eat? I'll drop $50 gift card off, maybe some wine, maybe some beer, and make sure I get them a gift at the end of the year. So that way the following year, they're like, he was nice, he brought some gifts, he can come back. So that's one of those things where I'm tied right now with my hands because I only can go where they go. But when I have my permit, when I get my license, I may go stretch out and do my own thing. I have all these traps in this house, except for about 7 of them are my traps. I bought them all that we trap with. So technically, I have a say on about all of them. So every one of them I bought. Well, besides a couple old Dukes and one Duke 330, couple 110s, one Duke 280. Yeah. So there's a couple of them that are my dad's, but all the leg holds, all the dog proofs, all the boards, some of the weasel boards and otter boards are mine. So literally all the stuff here is mine. I bought my stuff if I want to take it, So it's one of those things where as much as they don't want me to be like, oh, well, if I say, well, I don't want to use that stuff there, they'd be like, well, we'll just get our own. Problem is they don't have any. So then they are somehow pressure me, convince me to let them use it. Then when I do go to the property, they're like, well, you can't do that. We're not allowed to do that. They lied to me 5 times about what the landowner said. And then when I brought that up, they were like, that's not what he said. So I'm just going to go up to the landowner and be like, is it okay if I trap raccoon and possum here? And is it okay if I use an air rifle instead of an actual rifle to kill him? I'm curious what he would say. All right, I'll get off if you want to go live because I want to watch your live. I was really wanting to tune into that, Iowa. Yeah. I want to night out. I want to see you live because I'm all day yesterday. I was hoping and hoping. I checked like 20 different times, hoping for live, and it didn't happen. I'm gonna get off. I want to see you go live. Um, I'm within my hour time frame, so yeah, I'm gonna get off. See you later, guys. Iowa Trapper said he's gonna go live earlier. Keep an eye on his channel. He's probably gonna go live. Tune in there. Go say hi. Hang out. See you later, guys.